Here's what's cooking on today's Sports Stove Local Hour. We've got head coach Walt Wells from EKU Football to talk about the spring game coming up this weekend, and there is plenty of news to discuss as well. So buckle up. That's what's cooking on today's Sports Stove Local Hour.
McKinney looks, steps into pocket, throws, open receiver, touchdown! Colonels, we're not done yet!
Our identity is we're going to press for 40 minutes, we're going to play up-tempo, we're going to play with unbelievable passion, and then our brand is the most exciting 40 minutes in sports.
Welcome into an all-new edition of the Sports Stove Local Hour, presented by IPM Pests and Termites, Central Kentucky's neighborhood pest professionals. If you have ants, carpenter bees, spiders, or any other insect crawling or flying around your house, you need to get a hold of IPM Pests and Termite. You can do so by going online to myipm.com and get in contact with the fine folks there. If you're here in Central Kentucky, make sure you let them know the Sports Stove sent you. I'm your host, Vince Stover. I had a good opportunity this week to go visit another Richmond sports show, the Richmond Register Sports Show. You can find that on YouTube on the Richmond Register Sports YouTube page. And I think that's what it's on, or the Richmond Register page. But I think it's Richmond Register Sports Show. You can look it up. I was on there Sunday, April the 24th. And I had a chance to talk about EKU a little bit, the show, and everything else that I do as well. So make sure you go in and look that up on YouTube. Nathan Hutchinson hosts that. He's the sports editor at the Richmond Register, and sure appreciated him inviting me to come on the show. So make sure you go take a listen and continue to support other local sports broadcasters, the top-of-the-line guys there at Richmond Register, and do a great job. They broke some big news this week, and we'll talk about that right now, and that's with EKU basketball continuing to add pieces. 6'10" forward/center Darden Kapiti, I believe is how you say the name, from Kosovo originally. He played over at Florida Atlantic, and so he gets added to the team for next year. He's got some big things with him. He had 10 points, 8 rebounds in the 2019 under 20 European Championship at FIBA. So that's coming from EKU Sports. And so they add him in. Again, a strong recruiting class. The 4-star guard, if you're looking in the right spot, 4-star guard Leland Walker, 3-star guard Tayshawn Sean Comer, and then, of course, Mr. Basketball Turner Buttrey, who we had on the show as well, will be in the backcourt, and all three of those guys. And then you add in Darden along with John Ukomadu, Yuko Madu, I think is how you say that. Again, we got some tough names to say for next basketball season, but nonetheless, a very strong recruiting class. My guess is they're still going to look to add at least 1 or 2 more guys in and to fill out this roster and definitely get where they want to be. Of course, the other big news coming for the basketball program this week, I guess it was this week that it came out, is the announcement that they are going to remodel the Alumni Coliseum. And it sounds like a pretty big task at hand. They are going to absolutely redo the building, and it's going to take a lot of time. So they'll start that project after basketball season next season, and that will roll through until 2024, the fall of 2024. So Matt Rohn doing his part to continue to improve the facilities and the different things going on at EKU. Of course, they got the new scoreboard coming up with the baseball field, and they did a lot of work on the baseball field throughout the offseason to get it ready for this season. And they've done different things for football, and now it is the Alumni Coliseum that is going to get the biggest renovation probably that the school's seen in a while. They got a huge grant to do this, $31 million funded through the Kentucky's General Assembly. And then there are going to be naming opportunities. So maybe you'll be visiting the Sports Stove Arena before too long. Probably not. My guess is the price tag is a little bit high for our show to get the naming rights to the Coliseum. But hey, if you want to send some GoFundMe money or some Venmo over to us, we will put it in the naming fund, and we'll get that arena named for the Sports Stove podcast. One of the things that comes to mind, and nobody in the university will give me anything on this, but there's been a lot of conversation about possibly moving to Conference USA. Sun Belt's been thrown around a little bit, but it seems like Conference USA is the target. And according to some Conference USA sources, it's a done deal. But from EKU, everyone I've talked to within EKU that is employed by the university is very tight-lipped. They all say the same thing. No, we've not been invited to any conferences, and they kind of leave it at that. And but I've talked with some people who have some connections, and then people again that are associated with other universities in the Conference USA that said EKU is going to Conference USA. So you look at this project for Alumni Coliseum, it's going to be done in the fall of 2024. Makes you wonder if the school year, the sports year of 24-25 might be the target date to head on up to the Conference USA, or maybe the year following 25-26. But nonetheless, I think that you're going to continue to hear and see that progress forward. They have a goal, right? The university has a goal to grow, to be competitive, to do what's best for the university, and the opportunity to move up to an area like Conference USA would be an improvement for sure, and an opportunity to grow there as well. According to EKU, the renovations for the facility will include, and I'm reading EKU stories.eku.edu, but new seating with chairback seating throughout most of the arena, hospitality and premium seating options, including suites and club spaces, wider, more accessible aisles and concourses, as well as enhanced ADA seating, new and improved restrooms, new concession areas, state-of-the-art lighting, audio, and video capabilities, which would be great because where I sit on the floor next to Nathan Hutchinson from Richmond Register, we can't hear anything coming out of the speakers. We can hear the noise, obviously the music, but the way the echoes bounce and everything, we can't understand what they're saying through the microphone. So that'll be great. New ticket office, new fan shop, new locker rooms, player lounges, meeting spaces, and offices for men's and women's basketball and for volleyball. New administrative offices, renovated, expanded student athletic academic success center, expanded sports medicine facilities, increased number of spaces, and better accommodate hosting tournaments and special events, because obviously they do a lot of that. The All-A tournament, of course, is being held there, and others as well. Advanced video production opportunities for students in broadcasting and electronic media, improved education spaces to support exercise and sports science, health promotions, and administration programs, and then improved hospitality management opportunities for students interning with the EKU dining services as well. So lots of things happening. It's going to be a massive rebuild. It's going to be, I say rebuild, it's not going to be a rebuild, but nonetheless, it's going to be a huge job to redo this Alumni Coliseum. But I believe if what we've seen from the other sports and the other things happening, it'll be well worth the wait, and excited to see how it all shakes out for EKU there. EKU baseball got back on track as I am recording this. They are currently in the midst of a game against Moorhead there at Earlcombe Stadium, and got off to a fast start. Kendall Ewell getting Player of the Week honors from multiple different outlets as a result of his 5 home run week, 3 home run game this past weekend as well. So EKU baseball, after a short, rough stretch, is back on target as well. Then again, they're battling Moorhead tonight. I'm recording on Tuesday evening, so do not have the final on that one yet there. But good things have happened so far. So looking forward to EKU baseball continuing to go. Golf is in towards the end of their season. They're getting there, the men battling there as well. So a lot of good things happening. One of the more active things going on campus right now is spring football with practices and other things. There's, I've been able to go out to a couple practices and kind of see some things. I'll give you some thoughts on that in a minute. But before we get there, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk with EKU head football coach Walt Wells. Had a great time chatting with him. We talked briefly about the FCA Night of Champions to give some context to that conversation. Sunday night, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes held a Night of Champions, a dinner to kind of inform the community, get them aware of what's going on with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Coach Wells was one of the speakers at the event. Me and my wife had the opportunity to go and sit in. And so I do joke with him about some things he said there, but kind of give you a context of what we're talking about there as well. So you're not sitting there wondering, what are they talking about? That's what it is. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will hear from Walt Wells. All of our interviews on this program are presented by All Around Roofing. You'll hear their commercial here in just a second. But again, we highly endorse All Around Roofing. They are top-notch quality people, and they do a top-notch quality job as well. So when you need help on the exterior of your home and you get a hold of All Around Roofing to help you, make sure you let them know the Sports Stove sent you. After these quick commercials from our sponsors, we will get you the interview with Walt Wells.
With over 20 years of experience, Matt Schaefer and the good folks at locally owned IPM Pest and Termite provides pest control service for all of Central Kentucky's pest control needs. Whether you have a current pest control problem or want to prevent infestation from ever entering your home, IPM Pest and Termite offers maintenance programs that will help keep pests out of your home and provide peace of mind. So for dependable, reliable services that you can count on, get in touch with our good friend Matt Schaefer and IPM Pest and Termite today at myipm.com. That's myipm.com.
Does the exterior of your home need a facelift? All Around Roofing has you covered. All Around Roofing is a veteran-owned company servicing Madison County and all of Central Kentucky. From roof repairs and replacements to gutters, siding, windows, soffits, chimney flashings, and more. All Around Roofing provides quality work and friendly service that will leave your house looking great. Call today at 859-489-5179 to get a free quote. That is 859-489-5179. We can handle your all-around exterior needs at All Around Roofing. Program now is head football coach of Eastern Kentucky, Walt Wells. Coach Wells, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing awesome. I have a bone to pick with you. So Sunday night, we were at the FCA Night of Champions.
Right.
And you made a comment, and you said, I don't like preachers. Now, it's got to be in context, I understand. As a preacher, it hit straight to the heart.
Right. Well, I mean, it's not every preacher I don't like. I was very fortunate to have a good preacher in Jim Henry back in the day at Tours Baptist Church in Nashville, Tennessee. And then the guy we had in Tampa was a really good preacher. We enjoyed him, Ken Witten. He was. My wife still watches him online. So it's not that I don't like him. It's just, I got to be careful around them,
We got to try to keep you on your toes every now and then.
I need it. My mom will appreciate that.
No, we had a great time there at the FCA event.
It was a great
on
event.
Sunday night as well.
Yeah, those students that are, from all the high schools, and then our female athletes here at EKU, they did a fantastic job.
They did indeed. So I'm looking forward to getting more involved with that. But Coach, I brought you on not just to make fun of you there, but to talk about the spring game. Spring game's coming up on Saturday. You guys have been working hard for it, preparing for it. And, it's funny. One of the things I told my wife when we came to that FCA event, I said, when I saw you were speaking, I said, I hope he doesn't use the same language he uses in practice in the speech. And you didn't.
I just toned it down a little bit. I tried to at home, and I tried to at other places. Every now and then I let my immaturity get the best of me.
Well, when I heard you use strong language the most was with the young guys, especially freshmen getting oriented, getting used to what it's like to play college football. How are the young guys doing?
They're doing great. We've had a lot of young players and older players that have stepped their game up. I think our spring has been really productive. We've got some holes that we got to fill and we got to get better at. But I think overall, if today was, I guess, 13. We finished 13 this morning. We got 14 on Thursday and then 15 on Saturday. But I really feel like, our coaches have done a great job of improving them. I think even guys like your Parker McKinney's, your Peyton Collins, your your guys on defense like Matt Jackson and some of the other ones. I really think that even the guys that have kind of established themselves have had good springs. So I'm really excited where we're going. Like I said, recruiting never ends at this job, and especially now with the transfer portal. So we'll hit the portal hard for about four to six guys to plug in at where we can. We've got a couple commitments already. So that 4 to 6 is really, 3 to 4, but I mean, after spring, but we knew going into spring, we wanted a couple more positions, and, it's all about creating competition. And I think our coaches have done that in recruiting, and I think our players have done that and how they've developed themselves. Off-season program with Billy Brown and Gregory Byrne. And I think, as we continue to move forward, they'll continue to do that this summer.
What are you guys looking to get out of the spring game? Because obviously we still have a long way before the season starts. So it's an exhibition, it's a practice, it's a way to get the fans excited. Is there anything that you're trying to accomplish for the team during that spring game?
I think our younger players and, our twos and our threes are still going to be so heavily involved in the competition part of that I think it's important for them to come out and compete. And I think the guys that are kind of solidified in some positions, technically nobody ever is. I understand that, but they'll come out. I want to see them operate like a game-like situation. I want to see our coaches handle the situations and do all that and just play clean football. And we've had 2 scrimmages where we pretty much have played clean football. We went over 100 snaps last week and only had 3 penalties. And so I was really – and the ASUN officials are there. So I was really pleased with that part of it. And I want to see us operate that away, because it'll be a running clock in the second half. So we're trying to get out of there and get everybody healthy and get into exams and get those over with and give them a little break, and we'll go on the road recruiting and then come back and get after it this summer with our 8-week plan.
A word you talk about a lot is consistency. Have you been seeing consistency in the spring, or we still got a little ways to go on that?
No, it's more difficult sometimes to see that, when you're in the spring because, maybe the defense has a good day. Maybe the offense has a good day, And last Saturday, I thought we really saw some consistency because it was really the ebbs and flows of a game. And so, the defense came out and dominated a little bit. Then the offense took over. And then the defense came back. And then the offense took over. And then the defense and then the offense. And it went back and forth. And, to me, that's a sign that you got a chance to have a team that is going to be competitive on both sides of the ball and be consistent on both sides of the ball. Our performances have got to continue to increase in what we expect and what our players believe they can do. But that's part of the process.
Parker, obviously, you say, some people, your job's always open, but Parker's your quarterback. There's no question about that.
Right.
He's, he played great last year, but have you seen growth in him this year? What's exciting you about leading into the summer with what Parker's doing?
Well, I think Trent's done a great job with him and not letting him be complacent and let him keep, we talk about consistency and performance with a championship mindset. And I think Parker's taken that championship mindset on that, he could walk out of here one of the best to ever play. I mean, he's still got 2 years left. I don't know, where he'll go with all that, but I know he's coming back next year. And I'm looking forward to watching him grow and help grow our team. Parker's such a quiet young man. Sometimes you just don't notice him. But he's a really, really competitive player. He's a really good player. And, he can go down as one of the best to play here.
One of the guys that's not quiet is Matthew Jackson out there on the defensive side, always talking.
That's right.
Yes, indeed. We had Matthew on a couple of weeks ago, and he said we talked about leadership. And I talked to him about pushing Parker a little bit. And I thought he made a great point. He said, hey, we just want Parker to lead the way that fits him best. We're not going to ask him to get out of what he does. And you talked about that last year as well during the season. But you guys lost some important leaders, especially on that defense throughout the year. And I know Matthew's vocalizing it here in practice so far. But are you seeing those guys start to step up as leaders on that defense?
No, there's no question. And I think, Matt's done a great job. Matt's, productivity has always been his leadership quality for a while, but he also has really matured into what he wants to be and what we need him to be. and what will help him beyond here. And so I'm really proud of Matt's maturation and where he's going. I think Jake and Derek have both done a great job of helping him along the way. But there's other guys out there that are doing a great job, and it's fun to watch. I mean, it's fun to see a guy like T.K. McClendon come into his own a little bit. Kelton Dawson come into his own. Ryan Jackson, Shane Burks. Our D-line has a chance to be special. And there's more. Darian Baker, Gabe Fletcher. There's guys all across there that I think we have some depth in our front seven. Our linebackers is great. Inside linebacker is great competition between Jalen Hurd, Kylan Robinson, Chase Lassiter, and Harry, who's the old steady Eddie. He's kind of like Parker. He don't say 2 words, so everybody forgets about him until he comes in there and makes a hit. And so it's I think our front seven has got a chance to be where we want them to be. Our jack position is really developed with the coming on of Jaden Bost and Shaq Fall. Those 2 guys have really, probably some of the most improved guys, at their position, when you start looking at all the positions, the guys that made some major leaps. That means they still got leaps to go, but they're not – they can play faster because they know what to do, And so those guys on defense have really stepped up. Our two receivers, the Jadens, are really doing good. And the guy that's really improved is Kiki McFadden. You talk about another guy that's really, really just put his head down, went to work, and gotten better.
Yeah. It's, I've only been out there for a couple of practices, but it's been great to see guys, especially the returning guys, really seem to be stepping up. Davion looks really good in what I've seen out there as well. Of course, he had a great year last year and trying to build on that. The other thing that comes up this week is not just your spring game, but the NFL draft and, of course, the signing of the undrafted free agents. And you guys got a couple of guys that scouts came and looked at and everything like that as well. And so maybe when we see you on Saturday, we'll be celebrating a guy with a new career, maybe later Saturday night, getting some signings and things like that as well.
There's a couple of guys that deserve the opportunity to go to camp and fight for a job. And it'll be interesting. We had about 7 to 8 scouts here. It was a terrible day, but it's cold and windy and all that. But, we had several guys come out and compete and do well. And, I wish them all well. Hope they all get everything they deserve and everything they want and aspire to, because, you can only do that when you're young. It's not like you can do it when you get our age, So that goal and that dream is immediate. And so I hope they deserve great opportunity. I hope they enjoy themselves.
Are you guys, does the program reach out? This might be too early to ask this question, but now we got some new leagues. USFL started up this year, XFL started up next year. Of course, you've already got the arena leagues and stuff like that. Does the university reach out to those kind of leagues as well to come look at players? How does that work?
Yeah, they're more than welcome to come to our draft day, our pro day, and so yes, we do. Most of them will, they're already into it right now. So like the USFL, the CFL starts this summer. So how that works is once the draft's over, they see I hate to say it like this, who's left. Yeah. And then they start picking up people. And so now the USFL will probably do it after the NFL season, because then they can figure out who they need to go from, because they're a spring league. And so, yes, well, I mean, we've had scouts from the CFL come to practice and come to different things. So, and then, the one thing that's great about the NFL, that they're really not scared of competition. So they share all their information with those 2 other leagues, because, hey, if they can get a kid developed in the CFL or in the USFL, then that gives them an opportunity to get a player that's been working his craft and getting better and better. I mean, I think here on our staff, we got Marcus Adams, who was a great, player here when I was here with Coach Kidd, and an All-American and all this, that, and the other. And I think he played 9 to 11 years in the CFL. And so, that's a really good career. And so now he's into coaching. And so it's there's opportunity and avenues. You just got to keep pushing. I mean, how bad do you want to go do it? Gets into play. And if it's NFL or bust, like, there's some recruits, it's Power 5 or bust, and if it's NFL or bust, well, then you limit your choices. But if it's not, you can play football if you want to play football.
Anything you want people to know about for Saturday? Any information they need to know that they don't already have?
Well, I think you can go to EKU Sports and go to the football and find out all about the day. I mean, the spring game starts at 3:00. We will have tailgating. We'll have boxes set up that you can go preview the box and see if that's something you might want to purchase. Seating, if you want to go see where your seating is. I think they told me 2 weeks ago we had 5 or 7 RVs coming. We've got, food trucks. I think we're going to have music and different things. We want you to come and celebrate the end of spring, kind of get a little bug for football for this fall, see what we've done to the stadium, see what the changes we've made in our seating, major changes in the boxes that I think are good changes, and just enjoy a beautiful day on Saturday. And why not Richmond? Why not spend time in Richmond and have some fun over here on campus and watch us play ball and get a chance to say hello to people and meet the team and do different things like that.
Yeah, I know there's several parents, of course, players that are already planning the trip to be there, and some recruits and some guys that have already signed and coming next year will be there as well. So a great opportunity to come out and see everything. The kids area is going to be set up as well. So if you got kids, come out and let them play when they're not watching football and stuff like that. So
we've got some positive things that'll be happening here at the stadium this summer. So, keep an eye out for that.
Yep. Awesome. Well, Coach, thank you so much for taking some time to chat with us again. We'll see you on Saturday. Looking forward to what's ahead after the summer, especially.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, and take care of Andy. Get involved in there with the FCA group. Andy's a top-notch dude, so we're lucky to have him be a part of our program.
Yes, sir. Thank you. That is Coach Walt Wells, EKU head football coach. Good conversation with him. Andy, who talked about there at the end, is the guy who runs the Fellowship of Christian Athletes there at EKU. So that's who he was discussing there. Again, just trying to keep you in context with everything going on there. A little bit of news came out on Tuesday in the football program. Jaden Woods first comes out on Twitter and announces he's entering the transfer portal. He's a defensive back there for EKU, is sophomore. And then just about the time that we were on with Coach Wells, Davion Ross posts on Twitter that he is entering the transfer portal to pursue other opportunities. So, boy, you hate to see Davion leave. He had a incredible year last year. And you remember he was originally came in as a wide receiver. Coach Wells and the staff moved him to defensive back. The first season, it was okay. The second season was phenomenal. He had ASUN defensive player of the year, or defensive player of the week a couple times. He had three pick sixes. Man, you just hate to see Davion leave the program. Jaden was unable to do the same, produce the same way that Davion did at this point in his EKU career. But that's 2 defensive backs. That's going to thin out a little bit. And you heard Coach say, hey, we're looking to add another 3 or 4 guys through the transfer portal here over the summer to get them in as well. There was a commitment from an edge rusher from Washington State that now, sorry, I don't have his name in front of me. Coach Wells couldn't comment on him as he's not officially signed yet. But once he's on campus and enrolled in the university, Coach should be able to talk about him. I want to say it's Matt, and now Taylor maybe. I apologize for messing that up. But he's going to come over and kind of help continue to strengthen that front 7 that Coach was talking about. He talked about it during the interview. And during the interview, I didn't know yet about Davion. And he kept talking about the front 7. I almost said something about the defensive backs, but I kind of just laid off because it was interesting that he wasn't talking about it. And now to realize that 2 guys are gone. But they brought in some guys already, the transfer portal. They've got some freshmen that maybe can contribute right away. It's typically not what you expect, but Travion Longmire was a big recruit that they landed, an in-state kid from Corbin that comes over. He plays defensive back. Safety tends to be where you think of him at, but it'll be interesting to see. They got a lot of guys on the official roster listed as defensive back, only 3 listed as cornerbacks specifically, but we know some of these guys can move around. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, who they can bring in, who they can add to this team to strengthen it up there as well. So a lot of things happening. I want to encourage you to come out to the spring game on Saturday, be a part of the activities and the festivities. The weather might be a little rainy, but if you can make it out, we'd sure love to have you. And if you get a chance, you see me walking around, we'd sure love the opportunity to meet you as well. Looking forward to be a part of that. And again, seeing where everything has come so far in the spring. And then the summertime, obviously more things will develop. We're going to do position episodes during the summer to give you a breakdown of kind of the roster outlook and things like that as well. So we'll do that though closer to the football season, probably in July is when we'll start working on those things as well. All right, I want to say thank you to our sponsors, IPM Pest and Termite. Again, visit their website, myipm.com. If you're having pest issues in Central Kentucky, they'll take care of you. And All Around Roofing, go to Facebook, All Around Roofing KY. You can see before and after pictures of the projects that they have done as well. A huge thank you to Walt Wells for coming and spending some time with us. I know he's very busy this week, so we sure appreciate him taking the time. Don't forget to go to YouTube and visit Richmond Register Sports and catch the interview that I had the opportunity to sit down and talk with Nathan Hutchinson there. So make sure you view that episode as well. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Sports Stove, at Sports Stove. We have 3 episodes a week that come out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday and Friday, my dad joins me. We talk NFL, Major League Baseball, college football, basketball, those sorts of things. And a lot of heavy NFL draft talk right now on those episodes. And then, of course, Wednesday is our local hour episodes as well. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of the Sports Stove Podcast Local Hour. Until next time, we'll see you around the Sports Stove.
McKinney looks, steps to the pocket, throws, open receiver, touchdown! Colonels, we're not done yet!
Our identity is we're going to press for 40 minutes. We're going to play up-tempo. We're going to play with unbelievable passion. And then our brand is the most exciting 40 minutes in sports.